Okay, so I've waited till the next day and now you can see my site forge.my is showing this thing called index of. So that's basically the basic file folder of the server. That means this domain is pointed to the server, the hosting plan, and we're looking at the basic file structure. So what I'll have to do next is to basically build a web platform on this website. And the web platform I'm going to be using is basically WordPress. Now WordPress started off as a blogging software platform. It's open source, that means it's free, and there's a lot of plugins and themes that were developed for the platform. So that means to these days you can find a lot of different types of themes for WordPress that will give you all sorts of different functions. Like if you want to turn it into an e-commerce store, you want to turn it into a business website, you want to turn it into a marketplace, you can actually do so with a lot of WordPress themes that you can find on places like Theme Forest and lots. Alright, so basically we're going to be using WordPress. I'm going to be installing a premium theme, not from Theme Forest, but because I already have something known as DV. Let me just show you DV from Elegant Themes, which is a website theme for WordPress that makes building websites easy because it's based on drag and drop. So I just have to drag and drop images, tags, and basically build that sort of like website that I want to. Alright, so I'm going to go back to my site. To start installing WordPress on my site, it's quite simple. I will just put in a slash and then cpanel, which would enable me to go back to the control panel of the site. Now, once I log in, this is basically the back end, the hosting account of my website. Now, I'm going to go down to software, and you can see under software, I have something known as WordPress Manager by Softaculous. Not sure how you call that. I'm going to click on this. And basically what we're going to do is we're going to install WordPress on our site, and then we're going to put in some details and then install it on the domain forge.my. Okay, I'm going to leave everything as per usual. My blog, my WordPress blog. You can change it if you want to, like Forge, the hub for content creators, whatever, right? And then I'm going to call this forge.my to keep it simple, and then make sure to get the password for the site so I don't lose access to the WordPress site. Admin email, for now, I'm going to default it to my personal address so that anything that happens on the site, any notifications will be sent to me. Okay, any plugins that I want to install on the site, not at this time. I'm just going to install the very basic of everything. I can even choose a theme to install together with a site WordPress installation, but I'm not going to choose anything. I'm going to go with the most basic theme and then click on install. That's it. Okay, so everything is done. WordPress has been successfully installed at forge.my, right? And you can see that the administrative URL is forge.my/wp-admin. Simple. So if I go back to my site right now, let me just open this up. You can see that we have our site already right now. It's a very basic theme, which is the free default theme by WordPress. When you build sites, especially using things like WordPress yourself, you will come into a lot of like issues where a particular button isn't at the spot you want, the color isn't what you want, something is off here and there. But that's just a usual thing when it comes to building websites. No website is perfect out there, and especially for you as you build your first website, or maybe this is your side website, side hustle, you come across these kind of things. But what I will advise you is not to be too bogged down with all these little things and to achieve perfection. Getting things done is better than being perfect. So to log in, I'm just going to go and put in wp-admin. So again, this is different login, yeah? So the early login with control panel is basically our hosting account. The second one that I did here is basically a login to our WordPress site. Alright, so of course, right now our site looks very bad. So I'm going to be installing a premium theme. And like I said earlier, I'll be using DV by Elegant Themes. There's a lot of different types of premium themes for WordPress out in the market. An example for one popular one is called Elementor. You might have heard of it. It's sort of like the rival to DV. So Elementor is also a very popular WordPress theme builder. It's also based on drag and drop, and you can try it out as well. They do have a free version you can try it. So coming back to my dashboard for the WordPress site, all I have to do is to go down to Appearance, Themes, and now you can see that I'm active on 2021. That's the default theme from WordPress. I'm going to click on Add New and upload the DV theme that I've downloaded earlier. DV, open, and install now. Okay, and we can see that the theme is now installed. All we have to do is click on activate. And that's really about it. Now, once I activate the theme, when I go back to the site and click on refresh, let me just go back to the site, you'll see that it will show a very ugly default Divi theme. So we have to actually create something to put up as our front page. For the sake of showing you how to build a WordPress site and give you some tips and clues, this is what I'll do. So I'm going to go back to the dashboard. I'm going to go to pages and click on add new. And I'm going to be using the Divi builder because I've installed this premium theme. I can now use the Divi builder, which is more sophisticated than using the default editor on the WordPress site. So again, Divi is based on drag and drop, which you will find in many different types of premium themes for WordPress. They are all based on drag and drop because, well, WordPress themes targets a market which are not really hardcore developers, people like me, who do not know a lot of developing, but then wants to build their own sites. Or I'm just gonna start building something here, okay? Just make it simple. So let's just assume I'm gonna build my headline. I'm gonna put some text here. Okay, and for now, I'm just gonna put something simple. Okay, I'm gonna say welcome to Forge. I'm gonna put as heading 1. I'm gonna put it in the middle. Okay, something like that. And then I'm gonna add another element down here, an image. Okay. I'm gonna go really fast here, don't waste your time. I'm gonna go through something super simple, maybe like this, yeah, just for the fun of it. Now, one thing to note when you are building websites as well, a tip I can give you right now, is that when you're building sites and you're uploading images like this, you want to use small images, not as in dimension small, but then as file size small. The reason for that is because you want your site to load fast, and if you upload something huge like this is like 500 kilobytes, and that's considered quite huge for one single image. If you have maybe 10 images on your site, that will be like 5 MB megabytes, and 5 MB, well, although our internet speed is quite fast right now, on some systems, maybe on a smartphone, it might load much slower. So you want to keep your web page as clean and as small as possible so that when someone runs it, it loads really fast. Maybe I'm going to size it up a little bit. Boop, something like this. Okay, so welcome to Forge. It's so simple, but again, we can start building our site with the headline, the descriptions, the image, the videos, and then the payment button and then whatever, and then launch it to the market. So once I'm done with this, I'm going to click on publish. And then once it's published, I'm going to go back to the dashboard by hovering up here, dashboard. And I'm going to go down into settings and reading. So basically what I want to do is I want to make sure my homepage displays that particular page that I've created earlier. So that should be the number 6, no title, because I've not created a title for that page earlier. I was just rushing through. I'm going to save this. And now when I determine that the homepage displays that page I've created under my site, if I click on refresh, you should see that page I've created earlier. So that's basically how you build a site using WordPress, using Divi. Again, this is not the only way to build a site. You're free to use anything like Elementor or go through, Theme Forest, premium themes here, choose something that works for you and, go fast with it. The only tip I can share with you right now is don't spend too much time trying to build and perfect your site. Take it as something that you build along the way as you build your business. So till then, I'll see you in the next video.